Good evening and welcome to the SVG-TV news for Wednesday, August 24th. I am Khalil Kato with the details. Increases in the cost of importation may result in a rise in the local price of white and brown sugar. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves revealed that a memo dated August 22nd was sent from the Agricultural Input Warehouse, the entity responsible for the importation of sugar into St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to the Director General of Finance and Planning. The memo outlined the new prices being quoted for sugar imports. PM Gonsalves explains that the last shipment of white sugar was purchased for $640 per metric ton in June this year, inclusive of the cost of insurance and freight, while the new price quoted for the next shipment is $1,100, not inclusive of cost, insurance and freight. The PM further explains brown sugar is purchased from the Guyana Sugar Corporation at a price of $560 per ton with a freight cost of $64. However, Guyana has indicated that it will be unable to supply sugar until November. He says the Agricultural Input Warehouse has reached out to Belize to step in so as to prevent a scarcity.
Input Warehouse contact the Belize Sugar Industries Limited for assistance, but their price is not $560 FOB plus the 64 metric ton, which would be $624, which would include the freight now. They're asking in Belize for $832 a metric ton, cost, insurance and freight. Well, I'm going to give consideration to this today at Cabinet and to see how we can lessen the pain now. There are big number differences.
PM Gonsalves notes that government can give consideration to lowering the customs surcharge. However, he cautions that this may only decrease the price by about 10%.
You know, one thing which we can give consideration to is if you're to move for the time being the customs service charge on the sugar and associated duties. But it might only bring it down for the white sugar, well, both of them, by just about 10 cents a pound. Because at these prices, the white sugar will be about $2.40 a pound. And the brown sugar about $2.05 at these prices. But I'm particularly concerned about the brown sugar, you know. But that's what most people use, and it's now, if we can only get if it's Gaisuko sugar, the Guyana sugar, is only until November, maybe late November we get that. We have September and October and part of November.
Relocated Rose Place fishers who now operate at Lomans Bay are being given the assurance that government is working to provide the necessary amenities. Since the relocation of the fishers as a result of the port modernization project, the group has made repeated calls to be provided with electricity, washroom facilities, water and security. Speaking on NBC Radio's face-to-face program, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says he is aware of the complaints from the 17 fishers at Lomans Bay, and correspondence has been sent to the Central Water and Sewage Authority, CWSA, and the St. Vincent Electricity Services Limited, VINLEC, for the request of services.
A letter has been sent to CWSA in respect of installing potable water. So they're addressing that, doing the same thing with VINLEC for the installation of at least 2 street lights on the bay to serve as security lighting. They're also going to hire someone as a security officer. We use one of the affected persons, and give that person the job, and they naturally will follow through on the CWSA matter, the placement of the quarry material on the road surface, and working with the fisheries department and the National Fisherfolk Organization to develop a transitional plan.
He also says plans are being made to acquire an unfinished structure at Lomans Bay, which will be used as an administrative center.
We had approved at Cabinet the allocation of a parcel of land owned by the government at Lomans Bay for relocating the fisherfolk to construct their boat storage units. there was excavation and clearance of approximately 5,000 square feet of the Crownlands to make space for the relocating fisherfolk. And the survey was done on that parcel of land to mark 10 by 10 spots with adequate access for the carts between the lots, and they were marked out to be assigned to the relocating fisherfolk. There is an unfinished structure which we want to acquire. In fact, Linsky Douglas of the Port Project is in contact with the person who built it. It's unfinished, but we want to acquire it for the development of an administrative center to provide service for the fishing community. They're involved in negotiation to come to an agreement, and we'll fix up that building.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union is planning to host further protest action soon, and union head Oswald Robinson is asking parents to join in. Speaking with SVG-TV, Robinson warns that not many qualified and experienced teachers are left in schools and urges parents to be wary of the impact that this may have on their children's education.
I want to ask the parents, pay close attention, because a lot of quality experienced teachers out of the classroom, and you can't afford to have the government an assault on the education of our children. And next time we plan our next protest action, we want you to be with us on the picket line, on the march. Okay? We're looking forward to more parents, more workers from other sectors in the society, and anybody is public. It's a public issue. We have to secure the quality, sustained quality education. And quality education of children require quality teachers.
Referencing the current financial hardships dismissed teachers have been facing, Robinson says the group has been issued correspondence from the court to present to financial institutions to provide an ease on loan payments.
We're going full force, ensuring that the case is heard as been scheduled for this end of November and the 4th of December. And we're looking forward to that. We have already prayed about this because our teachers, they are prayerful people. And I'm sure that their prayers will be answered. That we have just received the last ruling of the court, because some of our members needed this document in order to provide to financial institutions to have proof so that they could extend the moratorium. So we would ask the office to make copies so those members of our organization who need that document in order to present to the financial institution, whether banks or credit unions, that they would have access to it so that the financial institutions could be properly informed.
Government has paid $72,000 to farmers who sold produce under the Food Purchase Initiative. The payments were made at the Lacroix Boxing Plant in Mariaquah this week. Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar says he believes the Food Purchase Initiative is a good incentive for farmers to produce more. He adds that the program has seen exports being made to countries in the region as well as the USA.
It would be used to export commodities to the Barbados Food Terminal Market and also to the Food Terminal Market in St. Thomas. We were able thus far to export a 20-foot container of dasheen to the Food Terminal Market in Miami, and the farmers have already been paid. They've been paid approximately $20,000. So what we are witnessing here today, the payment of the $70,000+ is almost $100,000 generated right here in the constituency and paid to farmers.
Area Representative Sinclair Prince praised the reopening of the facility, as he notes it will provide opportunities for farmers and in the surrounding areas to earn money.
I should mention too that it's not just people from Mariaquah who will be collecting monies today. This Lacroix Boxing Plant will be the area for people in the surrounding areas, people just outside Mariaquah, Greg's, Lomans maybe, Bible and those areas. So it is a central point, and we're happy that this is right here. Our people could just come here and sell their produce, collect their money and enjoy themselves. Senator Kiesel Peters will be sworn in as this country's Minister of Foreign Affairs on Friday. The swearing-in ceremony will be held at Government House at 10 a.m.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves announced in a press conference on August 16th that Senator Peters, who has been Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs since November 2020, will be promoted to full minister. The Prime Minister noted that he would shed the Foreign Affairs portfolio to take up ministerial responsibilities for post-secondary education, while Peters will be responsible for foreign trade, regional integration, and the diaspora unit. The NTRC wrapped up the last of its two My App summer programs for the year 2022 on Friday at the Bookament Bay Secondary School. The objective of the summer program is to teach participants between the ages of 13 and 18 how to code using a pocket-sized computer known as the microbit. This will help participants to gain insightful knowledge in coding as the demand for software developers is increasing. The students were also introduced to robotics, where they were able to construct and then use their coding skills to code commands into the robots. The valedictorian of the program was second form student of the St. Vincent Girls High School, Claudia Loveless. Loveless was gifted with an Acer laptop, who compliments the NTRC. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Meteorological Services is monitoring an area of disturbed weather located east-southeast of the Windward Islands. The latest model guidance suggests that environmental conditions could become more favorable for slow development of this system in several days, while it is forecast to move across the Windward Islands and into the Caribbean Sea. The SVG Met Office says regardless of the development, the system is expected to produce moderate to heavy showers, thunderstorm activity, and gusty winds across SVG from early tomorrow. Due to the saturated nature of the soils from recent rainfalls, flash flood watches or warnings may be issued later this evening. All residents are advised to keep informed and pay attention to the information being issued by the SVG Met Office. This is intended for preparedness purposes.